Hello, everyone. Welcome back to a Born Again original. It's gonna be Joe Rogan, Katt Williams. Um, so I think in my last video about Katt Williams, I kind of said that he's playing the light side of Freemasonry and all that, and that's why he was able to go and release all the information he did, all that jazz. Well, I was like thinking, what should my next video be on? I was like jogging my mind, right? So I clicked on this video. This was uploaded today. Katt Williams, he starts off going on about how Thoth created or like the emerald tablets and all this. And dude, I don't think a lot of people realize this has a lot to do with Aleister Crowley. Like Aleister Crowley taught that Thoth is actually Lucifer. So for Katt Williams to basically be promoting Lucifer worship and Luciferianism is crazy. So I'm just gonna play the clip, and what's actually amazing too is when they're dropping this little bit of knowledge, it's during the 33 mark of the video. So this is like a sign for like 33rd degree Masons. This is a sign for that this is like probably a ritual of like getting people to understand what the secrets of Masonry is, right? Because yeah, that's this is what I was talking about last time is you got to find out about all the dark stuff to get to the light. And so this is going to be enlightenment for those who are not initiated into Masonry. Anyway, this is going to be about 2 minutes. I'll let you guys listen.
Else.
No.
Nor since. Nor
Now
since.
or, yeah,
Nor since.
right.
The
And-
Great Pyramid of Giza is insane.
Right. Like,
It's insane.
even Tesla says that this is where he came to get the information. But if you follow that information pathway, it leads you to this character called Thoth, right? And the emerald tablets of Thoth are literally mind changing and mind blowing. Just because you understand.
So you guys, I ended up coughing there. But if you noticed, right before that, he looks off camera while he's saying it. So maybe he's being coerced into saying this. Maybe he's literally being handled into saying this on a Joe Rogan podcast of all things, right? That's a massive platform. Tons of people are watching.
And the terminology being used is
When was it written?
far too accurate for now. So I'm sure that
Here it is. Emerald Tablet.
Hey, you have an hour this week, right? Yeah.
So because I don't want to play too many clips from that, I'll just go into it and explain it from my point of view. Alright, so we're going to start it off. Emerald tablets. Alright, so the Emerald tablet is a compact encrypted hermetic text, which is highly regarded by alchemists, right? So these people, these Freemasons, guarded alchemy, like their hidden esoteric practices throughout it, forever, right? And this is their way of initiating the public into it by feeding them this information. Now, like, think of how many people are going to go look this up now, and how many people are going to take it serious. They'll be like, oh yeah, this is like the beginning of all knowledge. But in reality, it's the beginning of the Eon of Horus, where everyone worships Lucifer and everybody worships self. You really have to understand these things you have to put all the key components together. So Philosopher's Stone, like third eye, like having your third eye opened, as above so below, that is going to be the key to even. Aleister Crowley and Baphomet, right? That he's teaching a satanic practice. Now I don't know, he seemed uncomfortable. So I'm not sure what Katt Williams was doing, but we'll look at hold on here. So it is essentially Thoth and Hermes. We talked about Hermes being the god of enlightenment in the UFC videos. We talked about him being the messenger of the gods to human beings, right? So essentially a demonic entity that is knowledge. And we know Lucifer gave human beings the knowledge of self-worship to be able to go against God, be the goats, be disobedient towards God. Arabic versions. I'm going to show you the Aleister Crowley connection. Actually, you know what? Before we get to Aleister Crowley, we're going to just take a look at Thoth and Hermes. Now, when you're looking at this, you have to just understand that the reason why that Hermes or Thoth could have been the equivalent to each other is because of the Tower of Babel, the language change. That a lot of the pagan gods that people worship are the same gods, just in different areas. So they have a different language, and maybe there's some small differences because the demonic entities would have to appear in a different way because of they're separated by different lands and different surroundings. So the demonic entity who's seeking worship from these people would have to match their surroundings. So Thoth played many vital, prominent roles in Egyptian mythology, such as maintaining the universe, right? So balance. Essentially Baphomet. We're going to look at attributes. The invention of writing. So the writing and Egyptian hieroglyphics. So being able to communicate with the gods. Being able to write down the legends that those spirits are communicating. I'm thinking that maybe Thoth could have been once a human being that was so well delved into magic that he was made into a myth, right? Or he could be the spirit of a fallen angel / demonic entity. Then we'll look at what Aleister Crowley said about him. So maybe I misquoted it a little bit. The devil is historically the god of any people that one personally dislikes. This serpent, Satan, is not the enemy of man, but he who made gods of our race, knowing good and evil. He bade know thyself and taught initiation. He is the devil, the book of Thoth, or of the book of Thoth, and his emblem is Baphomet, and Androgyny, who is the hieroglyph of arcane perfection. He is there for life and love. So essentially, he's just basically saying that the Book of Thoth is just a very powerful spell book. It's very useful for getting knowledge about the occult, is basically what he's saying. So, to end it off, I think we're going to go into something else real quick. I just wanted to give you guys more information of the Eon of Horus, because I mentioned it earlier. So the Eon of Horus is going to be the eon, or the age, of where everybody practices Thelema, worship of self, worship of demonic entities, worship of rituals, right? Just pleasure in general. So, One of these, the Aeon of Isis, was one of the first eons, right? Symbolized by the great Egyptian deity Isis. It's followed by the Aeon of Osiris, which would be where we are right now according to the occult, when humanity worshipped a singular male god symbolized by Egyptian god Osiris. Okay, so this new Aeon, prophesied by Aleister Crowley during his lifetime throughout his esoteric and occultic writings. Like, there was a point in time where Aleister Crowley, he went to Egypt and he channeled a demon, and it told him that he was going to usher humanity into this Aeon. I believe it was Osiris himself, or yeah, it was Osiris. So they believe that humanity should leave it behind. The time of self-realization, as well as a growing interest in all things spiritual. What are we in now? What do you see every time you go to a store? You see tarot cards, you see the Ouija boards, you see anything like that, like spell books. Going to just a random bookstore, you're going to see that type of stuff now. It's very commonplace. This form is abracadabra, or abrahadabra. So that's really interesting, considering if you look in, like, I don't know if it was Looney Tunes or Disney, they had, like, what's the magic word? Abracadabra. So that's quite interesting. Self-realization. The Aeon of Horus is here. The Doom of Ego. So basically, I don't know if it's Freemasonry or whatever, but Katt Williams was sent to do this interview to basically initiate people into understanding these things. Because if you're like me, like, I'm not I don't know, you're gonna take this and you're gonna go into a bunch of different areas. Like, you're gonna Google one thing and then look another thing up. So people that don't know this type of stuff, they're gonna be easily deceived into thinking Katt Williams is like some exposure of the dark side, right? So Awas was the demon he got in contact with. The reign of the crown and conquering child is limited. We learn that Horus will be, and in turn succeeded by Themis, who's a double wanted one. She will bring the candidates to full initiation. Themis. Member of the Titans. Oh. Okay. So this is quite interesting. One sec here. We're gonna see if she's possibly related to, like, well, because we're thinking about this. Like, look at this as like a demon or an unclean spirit being worshipped. So the age of this woman is going to succeed the goddess of justice, divine law, divine order, and custom. So if you think about it, like, going from darkness to light, so divine law, divine order, complete balance. I'm not sure. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff you gotta what's the cult? Shoot a bunch of different cults. Alright, either way. If anybody has answers about Themis and what that could possibly be, I'm quite interested in this topic now. I never realized this. Or it could be like a link that's a mistake, possibly. Anyway, one moment. But yeah, either way, we can just come to the conclusion that um, the what they're preparing us for is the worship of fallen angels and the worship of being initiated into the mysteries, accepting a different history than we've been taught for the last few years, except like us going away from Christianity due to the people like Katt Williams and Joe Rogan who have the large platforms and are allowed to tell people about this stuff. So I just want to say thanks again for watching. I hope I was able to help someone with some information or even put someone on the right track towards where they need to look to connect the dots. So thanks again for watching, and I'll see you for the next one.